Hello and welcome to the Autodesk Buzzsaw training series for Marriott International. My name is Kyle Robb. I'm your Buzzsaw site administrator for Marriott, and I'll be walking you through these training sessions. Today's training session is going to focus on project folder navigation, so on the different types of project folders we have, both new build, conversion, and renovation folders. And I'm going to spend most of my time in the thick client, which if you were here for our intro video, that's this here, which is a separate application from a web browser that you use to access Buzzsaw. But I'll also be flipping between that and the web-based version, which you see here before you, which you must use if you're a Mac user. So to start us out, let's go back to the thick client here. When you log in, this is kind of the page you're landed on, your welcome page. There are two ways to navigate to the project folders from here. You can either use the link on the HTML page next to project folder, so access my files. If I click on that, what it would do is it would expand my project folder. So here, as you can see, the project folder has now expanded to show my new build and renovation folders. And then there's a little how-to kind of page on the right over here to show you how to set up a notification, which I'll get to here in just a moment. Now, let's say I didn't want to navigate to projects using that link. So I go home by clicking on the Marriott, the little black Marriott at the top. And instead, I want to navigate to projects. So I'll click on projects, and what shows is again that folder, that page with the helpful hint. And if I wanted to show the folders that are underneath of that project folder, I hit the plus sign next to it, and that's how the new build and renovation folders show up. Going over to the web-based version, so I can either click on this, and it would take me to that projects folder, and actually, because I use that link, so this is one of those clunky things that I had mentioned in the first training series. So because I used that link, it actually took me to the HTML welcome page file. So that's one of the clunky things in the web-based version. So if I was directed here, I'd want to go back to the document list, and you really have to manually navigate there. So I'm back technically home. But this is another thing about the web-based version. The HTML pages only work the first time you land on them. Now I'm home again, but it doesn't have that HTML page. Rather, it just shows these 4 containing folders on my home page here as well as over here. So I can get to projects by clicking on projects here or over here. So let me do that. So whenever you select something, a folder on the left, what's going to show on the right are the folders or files contained in the next level down. So here I could get to my new build or my renovation files by clicking on them here, or I could use this arrow, just like the plus sign in the thick client, and expand that projects folder, and then the new build and the renovation folders show there. So going back to the thick client here, let's take a look at the new build folders we have. So I click on new build, it shows the folder contained one level beneath. So if I hit that plus sign, this same folder is shown on the level beneath. And if I want to get into looking at what's in that project folder, so I click on it and I see, okay, these are the folders one level below. I'll say the plus sign over here, show those one level below. Just a quick look through what these are. So in A, starting your project, this just kind of has a basic project information and manuals for you to use. And then the approved standards and programs. This is actually a nice folder to have because what it contains within that folder is both the current design standards, which we'll get into the difference between current and then historical or published design standards in the next session. In the previous session. Sorry, the second session when we focused on design standards. So the current design standards are whatever our standards are today. Whereas the approved design standards is when was this exact project approved. So what are the minimum set of standards and specifications that you are held to? So it's nice to have, because any sort of change from the approved to the current is a decision point for the owners. So if we want to see when this project was approved, we'd click on that approved design standards link. We'd go to the standards and guidelines, and what it actually did is it took us to the design standards, Courtyard published, the historical ones, and then we can see, okay, this was approved sometime between May and August of 2012. And these are the design standards, the fixed point in time that you're held to those set of standards. So let me minimize this to get these out of the way. And then just to show you the current one, if I clicked on the current link and then took me to the standards and guidelines, it takes me into that Courtyard, those current standards. Let me minimize these back out of the way. And then you'll have your design folder. So anything, approval, preliminary drawings, construction drawings, decor. This is kind of final submittals would go here. Same thing for your construction folder. So this would be any sort of final type submittals by the project manager on the rough end, or the sample room observation, or fire life safety. Any sort of documents they have would be placed here. And any sort of procurement documents would be placed here. And then project collaboration. So this is a great folder to use kind of as like a Dropbox for anyone you deem a member of your team. So anyone that's working on the project, if they want to just post general collaboration files here, or let's say they wanted to add an own folder for themselves, they have that project collaboration folder highlighted, and then you could either right click on it and you'd add a folder, or you could right click over here and add a folder, as long as it's contained within that. So let's say you want, okay, architects, this is your folder, or general contractors, this is your folder, something along those lines. So this is kind of general Dropbox, or a junk folder. If you want to, you're not quite ready to submit something, but say you want a project manager to take a look at it, you might place it here and then let them know. Say, hey, this is where I put it. Can you take a look at it and give me some feedback? And now another important piece here, probably one of the more important pieces we cover in this session, is how to set up notifications. So if you want to keep a general pulse on your project, say, you know, what kind of work is being done on it, what's being uploaded to the project, what submittals are getting done. So in the Thick client, if you want to do that, you'd highlight your project folder like we have here, and you can either right click it and select new notification, or if you're getting pretty fancy, you could use the little bell with the star and set up a new notification that way. So let's say I right click it, new notification, and then it gives you an option to get a notification for every time any file is uploaded or edited or removed from that project folder, or just a daily summary. And what this does is, so if someone uploads a file and you have it set to immediate, it's going to send you an email saying, here's the link to the exact file in Buzzsaw that was uploaded, so that you can just click in that email on that link, you'll log into Buzzsaw, and it takes you right to the file that was uploaded or edited. It's a really nice feature. Daily summary, kind of the same way, but it would just list out, okay, these 5 or 10 files were edited or uploaded today. And it lets you know, was it uploaded, was it edited, was it removed? It lets you know the exact action type. So if I wanted to do this in the web-based version, let me go back over here, go to that new build folder, and then let me drop, so it's a little trickier in the web-based version, and this is again one of those clunky things that is why we try to steer you away from this. So I actually have to be on the new build folder in the web-based version, and then so the new build's here and it shows that containing folder, and I'd have to check off this box, and then you hover above the folder and there's an actions option. That is how you're going to set up a notification in the web-based version. So you check, you're in the new build folder, you check off the project folder you want to get notifications for, you go to Actions, and you set a notification. And again, it gives you the option immediately or just a daily summary. Let's close that out. And just to show you, using these arrows, the same folder structure applies here. Minimize those out of the way. Go back to the thick client here. Get off the new build, and now let's get into the different types of renovation folders you might have. So plus sign there. I also show the containing folders here. So we have a 6-year full renovation and then a property improvement plan renovation. So let's take a look at what that 6-year full renovation folder structure is like. So you have your README first items, any sort of architectural design items, interior design items, if it's for custom specifications, any photos, procurement, the project directory, so contacts, quality assurance, renovation tools and sort of resources, and then the scope of the renovation project. So kind of your different folders that you have for working through a standard cycle 6, 12, or 18-year renovation with the Marriott brands. And if we drop this out of the way here, so if we had a property improvement plan, the only folder that is contained beneath that is the property improvement plan execution. So any sort of item related to the execution of your property improvement, this is where you would upload and download there. And just in case you weren't with us when we had covered it previously, in order to upload or download a document, you simply have to select a folder. And so let's say we go back to that new build, and let's say I want to put something in my project collaboration folder. I could just copy it off of my computer, and then I right click. If I'm in the containing project collaboration folder, I right click and I could do paste for it, or I could do add document, and then it would ask me and go through a sequence of how to add that. Or I could click on the project collaboration folder itself and add the document that way. Going back to the thick client, right click here. So if I want to add a document to that project collaboration folder in my new build, I'd click on that project collaboration folder, and then I could have an option to upload here. So I'm in project collaboration, I could upload something, and then it would take me through, select your documents, upload them now, name them, so on and so forth. So that really covers kind of the basic navigation of our different project folders on Buzzsaw. So thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit with me today, and hopefully it benefited you. And if you have any other questions, again, my name's Kyle Robb, and my contact information is in the description for this video. And we look forward to having you join next time when we cover the tips and tricks to using the site, as well as related applications like mobile applications. Thank you very much, and have a good day.